ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Awkward Question Time. Please welcome your host, Alex Leam.
Good evening and welcome to Awkward Question Time with me, Alex Leam, the show where I take a panel of comedians and subject them to an hour's worth of awkward and stupid questions. If you're watching live at 8:30 on the 22nd of November 2020, then say hello. Let us know that you're there. You can answer along with us, but also submit your questions to the panel. More cringe, the better, please. And also, if you're a friend or family member of one of the panel, then you're going to know the dirt. Something really toe-curling. You're going to know where the bodies are buried. Not literally, like. I mean, there's not been an arrest yet on this show, but it's only a matter of time. So give us a share, a retweet, or subscribe to me on YouTube. And if you're one of those channels, check another one of the other channels out. Like my Facebook page, please, at Alex Leam Stand Up. Follow me on Twitter, at Alex Leam, or search Alex Leam on YouTube. And if you're not watching us live and you're watching the replay, let us know where and what time you're watching. And please do join us live Sunday nights at 8:30 p.m. I put this appeal out last week and it got some great results because I've noticed more and more people are watching this on their actual TVs now, not just like on their phones or tablets. So if you're watching on a proper TV, take a picture of this and DM me the pic. I asked for that last week and yeah, people didn't disappoint. Yeah. So an unfortunate pause face. So thanks a lot for that. If you are enjoying the show and want to contribute, why wouldn't you? Go and contribute to our grand total of £8 that we've accumulated in the last 11 weeks. Donate via paypal.me/Alex Leam and kofi.com/Alex Leam as well. And we will be flashing up the QR code that will mean that you can donate £5 intermittently tonight. Got one more person than usual tonight. So we've got to get that off screen during the main sort of part. But there we go. We might just flash the big one up now and again. That does work. That does work. We have tested it before. So with that all in mind, let's bring on tonight's panel. Please welcome John Morris, Donna Scott, Rebecca Turner, Stuart Dunlop, and KD Hinkin. Good evening, everybody. Hello.
Hey.
Excellent. Energetic waving going on. That's all good. So a few people watching already. This is excellent. Let us know. Say hi in the comments. Let us know that you're there and submit your questions as well. So we shall crack on then with our first question. So this cropped up earlier this week on Twitter, and they say it's a sign of your age. What was your first social media page? So, John, seeing as you've giggled when that came up, we'll come to you first. What was your first social media page?
See, I actually went to try and find this the other day because I saw this on the social media. My first page was Bebo.
Okay.
Yep.
Bebo.
I had MSN Messenger as well, but I don't think that quite counts. But Bebo was definitely my first face of the internet page.
Yeah. The Internet Messenger, that died because of when everyone had DMs on their phones. There was no need for it, particularly at the speed that you could chat at with dial-up. So it's amazing, really, that we lasted so long on Microsoft Messenger.
No, I remember with Bebo, you could create quizzes on it and put it on your page. And what all of my friends do, because we're all massive nerds, is we all made Doctor Who quizzes and got our friends to answer questions to the episodes of the Christopher Eccleston series, because that's how long ago it was.
Okay, so 2005.
Yep.
That's a while ago back. 2005. So Donna, we'll come to you next. Your first social media.
I've been trying to think. Was it Friends Who Reunited? Was it MySpace? And I'm just thinking about it. I think actually it was Bloodlust, because I think I was on that before I was even on LiveJournal. So Bloodlust was online.
Is that not?
It was like an online
What were you
forum.
finding people for?
It's definitely an old social media.
dating.
It's definitely an old social media page because I'm assuming it's a page for vampires. So it's just for people from many
Either that
centuries ago.
or women once a month.
Fans of vampires,
Once a
yes.
month.
As opposed to actual vampires. I think there were separate forums for them. But it's where I met it's where I met R.J. Barker, he who wrote the Bone Ships trilogy and the Age of Assassins and King of Assassins, all of those books. Very good writer, and he actually was the first person to publish a story of mine on Bloodlust.
So in the early days of social media, like you'd accidentally bump into a famous author and he'd publish your stuff.
Yeah, but he bumped into me, so you know.
Okay.
Same
Fair
thing.
Where the bumping goes.
I mean, my first one. So I did. It's before it had the title, social media, Face Party. Does anyone remember Face Party?
That's
Not a
something
clue.
you should not Google.
No, weirdly, it looked a heck of a lot like early Facebook, but it was British owned, and so there was the usual sort of things like blogs, updates, sort of stuff like that. But you could buy a premium version, which they called Cool Tools, which was like 30 quid, and then you could buy the premium version, which also meant that you could unlock users' naughty photos.
Is this like an early OnlyFans?
There was elements of OnlyFans mixed in with Facebook. For some reason, my mind can't distinguish between book and party right now, which sadly I never had that problem at uni.
I'm going to say, I've never heard of OnlyFans before this week. And this week, loads of people seem to be mentioning it. It's been almost tempting to Google it, but I dare not.
Yeah, I thought it was born for quite a long time, but apparently not anymore.
Kitty's just been on, Kitty Messalina. Is Face Party like Chat Roulette or Omegle?
Oh
Alex?
my god, I forgot about Omegle.
Oh,
What was Omegle?
Oh God.
I mean, like
same
chat
thing,
roulette, you just got connected with a random person. I think it was more text-based though.
Yes, it was. And I do. I never used Omegle, but a good friend of mine did, who is now a doctor of physics. So she's definitely a good egg. But she basically she would go on because obviously she's a woman, and a woman on the internet immediately gets the type of messages you'd expect from the cliches of the internet. So she would literally go on and just bait these people and then just screenshot them for the entertainment of all her friends. Like she would literally just put them in. The best one, and I'm putting her on the spot here. The best one was a statement she had where someone had literally just put "open boobs" as the intro to the statement, and she treated that like it was a computer programming thing. So she just went, "cannot find boobs in file," and she just ran him through like stuff like that. Run boobs. Yeah, it was so good. It was absolutely wonderful.
I mean, chat roulette and Omegle, it's just like a push your luck game. You just see how many times you press refresh until you get a face full of dick.
Yeah. Just dick.
It sounded like an episode titles of Third Rock from the Sun.
A face full of dick. Yeah.
Yeah. Could have been one of them. KD, what was yours?
Bebo.
Yeah, Bebo. Another vote for Bebo.
All I remember from that is getting really happy when I found out you could like customize the screen and that, and it was just ridiculous amounts going on in the end. Everything everywhere.
That's it. I miss MySpace for the customization.
Yeah.
And the bands on it. A lot of people say, "Oh no, I hated it. It was too much advertising." Have you been on Facebook?
I mean, but MySpace literally made you rank your friends. It's the social media site that made you friends with less people.
We all do that anyway. We have to be honest then.
Top 8. Well, that's if you got like a celebrities run profile that became friends with you. I don't think MySpace Tombo was ever out of my top 8. I was being diplomatic. Kitty saying that she remembers using Bebo. Pixo when she was about 11. Never had a MySpace, but grew up on MSN Messenger, which became Windows Live Messenger. My first Facebook profile was when I was 14. Okay. That's great. I'm now just remembering when I got my first Facebook profile, and I feel ancient. Stuart, we've had a peek into yours already. What was your first?
Well, on the inverse of that, I feel like I'm betraying my age, but in the way that will annoy all of you, because I'm probably a lot young. I'm probably quite young. In that my first was Facebook. and it was only recently. It was actually all the way back in 2013. But then I feel like the caveat is I'm from the Wirral, and mostly the Wirral, basically most people on the Wirral live in the 1970s. So I feel like I was revolutionary for my time for having Facebook at all in the last 5 years, or prior to that even.
Okay.
I'm just imagining Wirral as a Victorian village now. I have no idea where Wirral is. Not a clue, but
It's posh Liverpool. That's what people call it.
okay.
Like, it's where the footballers live in Liverpool because they don't want to live in Liverpool. But my area was not posh. I just want to put that out there, even though I sound like I've basically been, spoon-fed all of my education by Stephen Fry.
What an image!
It'll be a silver spoon.
Well, you're not your own, Stuart, with running the risk of making us feel old. Kitty was deliberate in that, saying, yes, Alex, my comment about Facebook at 14 was to make you feel like an old man. So she's been a bit more explicit about it. Al Grant is watching on YouTube and says, I like John's top. What is the pick? Is that Crystal Maze?
It is indeed a Crystal Maze. And I think to top that off, I do. I can see it here. I have an actual crystal.
Wow.
Wow.
Shut the front door. Excellent.
I won it at the gift shop.
That's cool. That is good. That is good. Kitty is being quite prolific tonight. She's already sent me screenshots of watching on the 4K telly in her front room. So that's one already. Wow. So, yeah. So
I was going to say thank you for elaborating, because talking about screenshots and social media without context can lead up to some very unpleasant thoughts.
Can a bit, yeah. Alexander Krecken's on. Anyone had a high five profile?
I have no idea what that is.
No. Anyone? No. Tell us more, Alexandra. Tell us more. What is high five? Rebecca, have you enlightened us with your?
Not yet. I'd say I can't necessarily remember which one was my very, very first one. So I'd have to go with John and say it was either MySpace or Bebo that came first. Because I know that Bebo got banned in our school.
That must have been good.
I don't know. It's just Bebo. And I do miss Messenger, but I know of me, like, I was so scared to have like an MSN Messenger because I thought like, my parents wouldn't approve just because there might be weirdos on there. So I was just really scared to have it. And I just felt so naughty having MSN Messenger because I was like, so naughty.
Secret art.
All the years of being online, I've never felt that naughty on the internet. I feel like I've missed a rites of passage.
Do you remember on MSN where people would change the graphics of each letter to be its own unique thing, which just made reading anything on it almost impossible because each one was like a emotive, glittery letter.
Yeah, I never did that.
No, I think it was, and I don't stereotype, one gender over the other.
I just stuck to the traditional way of annoying people by writing all my emails in Comic Sans.
Oh yeah.
I was a chav then, so I had all like the pyro was here and stuff like that. Well, I can hear myself.
Carry on.
Nothing to see here.
No, that was it. I had like the full on chapping, like you were saying, with the different name and all that, and like all the random little symbols and all. It was a long ass name. It was like 3 bits to it.
Can anyone see me or hear me? Because my computer's just rebooted itself.
Everybody pretend like we
can
can't.
all see you.
Yeah, we can see
Right.
you.
All I can see. All I can see is a blank screen. I can't see a thing, so I can't move the show on until my computer sorts its life out. So this is great. Oh, great. First spreadsheet gate. Now this. Okay. Right.
Just make up a question.
We're back in. I can see you all. I can see you all.
Hey.
Yes.
Yay.
Happy days. Quickly. Next question. Quickly, before my excuse of the computer tries to do something like that again. Everyone just suddenly, from my point of view, just suddenly went. I could hear you all talking, and then everything went blank. I just thought I was tripping. Anyway, next question. Next question. Can you bully me like you are Priti Patel and I am a civil servant? Bonus points if you make me cry. Feel free to point out the spelling mistake in my writing that I only just noticed now. So Donna, will come to you first. Dress me down like you are Priti Patel.
Right, I think we do a good impression. So actually, I would say, Alex, that if I have offended you, it is because you are an absolute lumberjack shirt wearing presenter, and quite frankly, I can't move my mouth enough to be bothered to enunciate a word to describe how pathetic that is.
Beautifully done, beautifully done, and quite justified. It didn't make me cry. It's all
Sorry.
true. Who'd like to go next?
I mean, I'll happily do it, but my issue is I have no idea who Priti Patel is.
Oh,
Priti
you know what?
Patel.
You live in a land
I
of sunshine
had
and
no
rainbows,
idea.
Katie.
I was at university at the same time as Priti Patel. Our university had an intake of 3,000 people. It was Kill University. No flipping idea who she was. That's how much of an impression Priti Patel made while she was there. Priti Patel, rubbish.
There we go.
I mean, I feel bad enough that I went to the same university as her, but if you went at the same time, then that's even worse.
Yeah, nothing.
Katie, all you've basically got to do is just imagine we're in a big office. You're in charge, and you give me a dressing down for no reason.
Okay.
Bring it.
See, I would instantly go to the lumberjack thing too, because I do notice the shirt, and the shirt is quite nice, but I can't help but see the duck behind you. Can you just move for a little bit? Because I just want to see something with a little bit of character first. Okay, cool. There we are. Cool. I'm good now. You can carry on. I'm sorry. I feel bad already.
That's my oversized rubber duck. Hello. There we go. All right, so that's this is okay. Donna gets high marks. Yeah, Donna gets oversized marks. Gets marks for the accurate portrayal of Priti Patel. Katie lagging just ever so slightly behind. It was a dressing down, more of a saying that I've got less personality than my rubber duck.
I'm sorry.
Which at that point, some sod put the laughing emoji up. Thanks a lot for that. Rebecca, we'll come to you next. Bully me like Priti Patel.
Okay. Okay. Let's give it a Gordon Ramsay spin because that's easier for me to get to. Okay. Alex, what is this, Alex? You an absolute numpty. Alex, you numpty, mate. What do you call this, mate? What's your lighting fixture like, mate? I've seen better lighting on a fucking interactive ice sculpture. You wally! I hate you. Guess what, Alex? Right. This is me, a Prit stick. Yeah, me, Prit stick Patel. Yeah. And this is you, Alex, a little beaver. Because you know what? You're a fanny, Alex. You're a fanny. My fanny. Yeah, Alex. How'd you fall? Yeah. You wally.
Beautiful. How anyone could really bring across the essence of Ramsay but still make it PG at the same time was skillful. Was amazing. I would say for that, including working in a Prit stick, I would say you just edged Donna there. So Stu, we'll come to you next.
Well, I'm gonna get into character a little bit. I need to feel like I'm holier than thou in order to do this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do this, and if you could all pretend that this is a little cat, and I can.
All right. Okay.
Well, Mr. Leam, I feel that. Well, Mr. Leam, I've just broken my wall. Well, Mr. Leam, with all This is how earth-shattering my insult will be. Mr. Leam, of all of the things I could mention about your inferiority towards me, I think I'm just going to go with the low blow and just go straight for the fact that you sound like you belong on the farm. I mean, that accent, that very distinctive non-London accent, I'm going to be frank about this and say that the one thing that I did expect before I encountered you, before I encountered a radio presenter, was to realize that I was lacking in green giant sweet corn this week. I am utterly abashed by that.
Well, very nice indeed, Stu. And finally, John Morris, come at me, bro.
So I think the most important bit is you need to make sure you've got the smirk.
Okay.
Which I can't smirk for the life, so you're just going to deal with this.
Okay.
No, this looks wrong.
I'm quite nervous now.
You sound a wink. It's a bit provocative.
She's just got that face where she's just the eternal smirk, so she can never look sincere. Ah, Alex, lovely to see you again. I see you've lost weight. It's fantastic to see that the work you've been doing and that you feel that you have made a contribution to this civil service. I must tell you now that you feel that you are doing better than you are. You are, in fact, worse than a rat. You are a slithery snake and you deserve to be punished, and I will punish you. Come round mine tonight and I'll show you what a dominatrix I can be. Bye.
I'm fucking terrified.
I'm kind of turned on now.
It's, okay, that's a real.
That went places I wasn't intending at the start.
Right. I can't get my chair back up now. I might have to do the rest of the show just from shoulder right down. There you go. That'll do.
You brought him down a peg. Well done.
Yeah, literally. I think John just picked it for that. For the shit, I was genuinely rooted to the spot. Back to the comments. Kitty is back. Of course she is. Learning lots about Alex tonight. Gets his panelists to bully him for fun. Some people like to pay quite a lot to be bullied by women like Priti Patel, Al Grant, and doesn't pay for the privilege. No, that's true. There might be bonus points, tiers for all of this. Pulling Alex up for his Derby accent, but his best voice is his Sean Bean impression.
Oh.
We'll work that in later, Kay. We'll work that in later. To keep your comments coming in, keep your questions coming in for the panel as well. So on a continued social media sort of theme, do you have more than one Facebook account? And if so, why? So does anyone have more than one Facebook account?
Yes, technically.
Yes. Okay. Seeing as Stu's put his hand up first, we'll come to you. Stu, what? How many and why?
So I've never really been a social media fan. I've always only had one of everything, just for the formality of it. But I recently got well acquainted with an American professional wrestling manager who once he is now retired and is now a positivity guru. He calls himself the mouth of motivation. And I guess you could say I run his social media for him. He's been a bit quiet of late. But he is working on something. So I don't want to spoil it because he probably will want it to be a surprise. But at the moment I am working with this wrestling manager and making, I guess you could say, laying the smackdown on Facebook with his profile, which again is a bit silent at the moment.
Good. So you got two because you're working for somebody else. Who else said that they've got more than one profile?
I did.
Katie, we'll come to you next.
I wish I could say it was for some type of work reason or comedian reason or anything like that. And I definitely want to know who you're talking about, by the way. But mine is just completely because I forgot the email address, I forgot the password, and then I realized, I've got the email address, it's fine. So I went onto the email address to have it sent to me. Forgot the password for the email address.
Oh.
So regularly get messages from people telling me, I've been messaging you. You're not replying to me. That's my old one. Yeah. Boring story, but true.
Cool. Who's next? Who's next? Who else has more than one? Yes, John. Is he?
You're on mute.
John, we can't hear you.
It's an interpretive dance.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
The story would have been better if I was muted. I have one that I set up whilst at university because I ran for a political position and won, and I had an own Facebook account. And now the only reason I still have it is because I send myself messages with links to stuff I want to remember.
Okay.
Oh,
I
I
thought you
thought that
were
was going
lonely
to be
then.
like, ignore the bullies. You've got this.
Yeah.
I've got a message.
You just
Oh,
reply
thanks,
to yourself.
man.
You say that in jest, Donna, but I'm totally going to try that later. Just DM myself.
I mean, who's to say all the questions aren't pseudonyms of Alex in the first place? I mean, who's to say that all the people who are, responding to this quiz aren't Alex secretly with a keyboard underneath the screen? Just
Well, more to be revealed in a moment. Rebecca, did you say you had an extra profile?
Not really. It's just like my one Facebook profile. Although saying that, carrying on from one of the other answers, from Stuart's answer, in that I when I was working an apprenticeship, I did look at I was allowed to log into someone else's account, like for their Facebook like fan page and their business. But when I was on there, I did accidentally go in their messages, and like the lady was like sending sexy messages to someone else that wasn't her husband.
Ooh.
So it was a bit like, oh, just turn these on red.
They're the
It's
sexy
like,
topics.
that's the only time I had a second account for like a work thing, but it's just I only have one Facebook.
I have two accounts.
Okay.
One
Was
one
one of
being
them for
mine.
sexy times?
No, although it did involve nuts. The second one was set up to wind somebody up that I knew. He and there's a host of us which have done something similar in the past, where he's put up a weird status and we've jumped upon it and set up a fake account and sent him a friend request, allegedly from somebody involved in that status. So he put up about 18 months ago that he opened a wheelie bin and a squirrel came at him out of this bin and shot off. So then I concocted this character that was the squirrel. I mirrored his name, so I just called myself Richard Squirrel, and then I created a backstory saying that Richard was just down in Devon that weekend visiting family, but he's actually from Edinburgh. Found out as well that you can fake log into places. You can just completely disable your location settings. So I was just like saying that I was in Princes Street Gardens in Edinburgh, just going, it's great to be back in my own tree, man. Fantastic. And this ran on for quite a while. So then I thought, how can I better this? I thought, right, I'll start sending his friends friend requests just to mess with his head a bit. Which went a bit too far. Now, I don't know if any of you lot have ever taken something a bit too far, where you're ashamed of the consequences, but also you almost buckle with laughter.
You hate it, but you love it.
Yeah. The guy that I was winding up, called Richard James, messaged me, still not knowing it was me. He messaged Richard Squirrel just saying, will you please stop sending my friends friend requests? I went, why? He went, I've just spent 25 minutes on the phone with my ex-girlfriend trying to persuade her I'm not the fucking squirrel.
And I presume you couldn't stop laughing for about a day after that.
About a day after that. A normal person would go, okay, I've taken it far enough. No, I took it further. I then started the Richard Squirrel podcast, which then came out, which starred me as the squirrel with a squeaky voice, and then I also even wrote in Graham Whistler for a fake wind-up phone call. I made out that Graham Whistler was from the RSPCA, and I was calling them up to hand myself in.
When you said take this further, I thought you meant you got him back in contact with his ex-girlfriend and asked to get back together.
No.
Was the ex-girlfriend, when the ex-girlfriend saw the squirrel profile, was she like, I knew it all along? That makes so much sense.
My biographer, Kitty Messalina, is back on. Do you remember telling this story on Question Time before? No, it was a completely different fictional character that I was bullying Richard James with called Rapey Carrot. I've got form. So I've done it twice now, once with as a carrot and once as a squirrel.
What are the other characters?
The other character, if anything, I was ahead of the curve with Aldi. I had an anthropomorphized carrot that I was winding him up with. So worst Sean Bean impression ever, Ricky the Squirrel. It was a Scottish accent. That's not my Yorkshire accent. Going back to what you were saying about your other profile, Stu, Kitty was picked up on a mouth of motivation.
Well, his real name is Mitch Merkabah, but he was known as Mitch the Mouth because he was such a loud mouth in wrestling. He was basically the guy who yelled at the audience and got them angry. And so now he's become a motivational speaker. He's retooled that to be the mouth of motivation. I don't know if it has any other implications. He's never told me, but then he never really divulges in his past to a 25-year-old man. He's in his late 50s.
What wrestling company was it?
He went for several. He worked for several, and most of them were defunct. He never worked for any of the ones that got television over here. He was always in the territories.
Okay.
Yeah, he never liked doing the mainstream stuff. He never liked that. It was too showy,
On to our next question. Keep your questions coming in if you're watching us live, please. Next one for the panel. Have you ever stolen anything?
Your heart.
Oh. Anyone else other than John stolen anything? Oh, it could be as petty as you like. I did. If you're of a certain age, and I think this pick and mix did happen at some point.
Can I ask a question on this question?
Yeah.
Has anyone here not stolen a 5p bag?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I never used them. I literally would just carry everything like that.
Just your full weekly shop over your back, like Hodor.
Well, I used to have a big rucksack, and I used to just put them in there. Like I literally was like that. I was like that. Traveling.
I did see when the charge first came in, and it was mainly men that were just going, "No, I don't need a bag. I don't need a bag," and they were staggering to their car like, easy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm clearly the epitome of manliness, so that kind of bodes well.
Oh yeah, we're all Trey Butch.
Buckaroo.
Yeah, Buckaroo. Absolutely. So I went through a 3-day pick and mix phase when I first started college, and
That's what you call a spree.
A spree, yeah. It was on 3 days on the bounce at the.
How long have you been taking insulin since?
I think I don't know much. I had a 3-day just going in just see if I could nick one of those miniature tubes of fruit passels that they had in the Woolworths pick and mix. And
I presume you're saying this now because Woolworths can't get back at you.
There is that, and I was very easily imitated. I was very easily intimidated by very easily imitated by Donna. So yeah,
Sean Bean's got to run from his money then. In that case,
Sean Bean does a killer Alex impression.
He does.
I believe that.
On that Yorkshire Tea advert. So anyone else nick anything?
Yeah, I remember the first thing I stole. I was like, I don't know, like one or not one, sorry, because like
one,
like proper younger. So one of my earlier memories, I remember taking one of those candy necklaces from in the shop,
all right,
and then putting it behind my settee and calling through to my mom. Mom, I just found this. Can I eat it? And then I got to eat it. Quite happy.
Ah, nice. So you sure your mum wasn't sort of like training you with that and then going in H. Samuel later?
Yeah, she was. What can I say? I'm a kleptomaniac.
Nice.
There is such a thing as theft by finding, you know. Yeah.
Especially when you put it there to find it on purpose.
Yeah.
Are you saying that when you find money, you hand it straight in?
Oh no, I never have.
No.
Has anyone else found dosh and then just pocketed it?
Like a tenner, but-
It's a hobby. It's called roadkill. Roadkill collecting.
Well,
I've
what
got
kind of
demi-johns
currency-
full of this shit.
What kind of currency do you have that roadkill qualifies? Like,
5p's, 1p's usually. If you're lucky, pounds.
I thought you mean like you're using dead hedgehogs to buy goods.
exactly.
You were saying
Back
things
at
were
Derby.
backward in the room.
Yes, so the exchange rate is 4 hedgehogs per badger.
25p for Sonic.
Nice. I feel like it's like peeling an onion with the panel tonight. There's just so many layers that are going undone. This is fantastic.
Try not to cry.
So you say
Like,
that
it's
you
like
found
roadkill. There's a lot to peel.
The
Yeah.
headline of 2020.
2020. It's like roadkill.
I think you try not to cry, but yeah, that works too.
So you say that like coins and stuff like that is the most you found. What's the most anyone else has found?
Like a tenner, something like that. You know, nothing major.
80.
Oh,
80
80.
Bloody hell.
doesn't count if it's still in their back pocket.
No, it was when I was still living in Bournemouth, which there's a lot of it flying about there. None of it usually in my direction when I lived there. But no, I was going out of my flat, just walking down to the beach. It was like the Monday, so when everyone had gone home, and there was 80 quid on the steps as you were going down to the beach. And at the time, I was beyond brassic, so I thought, fuck it, I need new shoes. Right, let's go to the back pocket. Bosh. And I don't regret a thing. I've had no karmic retribution for it. So,
no, man, if they don't notice they left £80 on a step, that's their bad.
Yeah.
I did see somebody confuse a tenner and the receipt from a petrol station, scrunch up what he thought was the receipt and fling it to the floor.
Wow.
So I said to my husband at the time, quick, drive over there. And then I scooped it up because I wanted to be that person's karma for littering.
He paid the fine.
Yeah.
He paid the fine. There we go.
They're non-perishable now, so it's even worse as well.
That's true. That's true. Just to give you an idea of sort of like the level of dropped money in Bournemouth. My ex, I was living with in Bournemouth. She worked at a language school, and the language school where rich sons of oil barons would go to, and they would regularly appear at student services Monday morning, just going, I wonder if you can help me. I need access to some more funds because I dropped £2,000 Sunday night. This was a regular occurrence that some teenage Saudi lad will come out and say, "Yeah, I dropped some money when I was out. How much? £1,000? What, you poured? No, it's just pocket change, isn't it?" That's how they treat it.
Someone kept shouting, "Do you want red or do you want black?" And suddenly I dropped £2,000. I don't know how it happened.
There's nothing wrong with red and black. Good. I was worried that was going to go over people's heads. Never mind. Any more stealing confessions before we move on?
I stole something really big.
Ooh, do tell. Do tell.
Okay, so John, you might not be aware. When did you go to Kiel?
2011 to 15.
Okay, this is where.
Did you steal the dragon? Oh
No. Right, so Nelson Mandela was in prison in Robben Island for a long, long time, and there were many campaigns and even a pop song that said "Free Nelson Mandela."
Yeah.
So he got released, and eventually he became the president of South Africa. And at that time, Kiel University thought that there was no point anymore in having their main student union bar called the Nelson Mandela Bar. So they just wanted to just take. I was incensed. They took down the sign.
Did you steal the sign?
Yeah, but I didn't. I only moved it to another place.
Oh,
That's what stealing is, just so you know.
Yeah.
Just moved it to another place, my pocket.
Yeah.
I didn't take it.
You don't still have the sign.
No.
Ah,
I
That's
left
fine.
it under
no one
the
else knows
room.
what on earth you're on about, but that's cool.
I understand.
I was really angry. Like, how can they just say, "Oh, well, your period of history is now over. Now you're actually president."
We only care when you're in jail.
Yes.
Nice. All right, on to our next question, which is if you have your phones handy, then do hold it up to the screen. What was the last thing you Googled?
Make sure it's
Just double check and be honest. I'm going to
I don't know.
have a look now. You can give reasons if you like, or you could just say what it was. What was the last thing you Googled, John? What was that?
Dark Souls guides.
Dark Souls guides. Are you elaborating or just leaving it there?
I was playing Dark Souls and I suck at it, so I needed someone to tell me how to do it.
Okay. I could say the last thing that I Googled was the Nicolas Cage film 8mm.
Oh, yeah.
Because I guessed it on a Nicolas Cage podcast over the weekend, so I needed to sound like I knew what I was talking about. So, yeah. Who's next? I noticed you went off to go and find something then, Rebecca. Have you found what you Googled?
Yeah. I was looking up the film King and I.
Okay.
Ah,
I know it's not particularly crazy, but it was more for a joke. I wanted to try my stand up, and I was trying to do a fact check of like where the king was from. I was like King of Siam, so that's pretty cool. Also check his name because I thought like the actor's name he plays the king in like the King and I, and like his name just sounds like a modern like a character in like a modern Swedish drama, and it's just like hey jag är julbränna. Hey. I wanted to fact check it. I know it's a really unsexy, like uncringeworthy thing, but that's what I googled. Sorry,
but that's still a better film than 8mm.
Was 8mm? Is that like a shit 8 Mile?
That's not a film.
Well, weirdly, no, it's because I had to watch the film as well before I went on the thing. It's a Nicolas Cage film where he goes on the hunt of a gang that makes snuff films.
oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Just when we thought 8 weeks of talking about pegging couldn't take the level down any lower. No, we're on the snuff films now, the odd stuff. Who's next? What they last Googled?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now I've realised it's awkward after discussing pegging. But for those of you, I actually do another show on Sundays, which was a couple of hours before this, called the Feet and Ball Show. And as part of that, I had to double check something. So my last Google search was Macaulay Culkin, which was essentially looking for Home Alone gifts that I could share with my guests, because we were talking about Macaulay Culkin and his connections to West Ham United Football Club, which are very tenuous.
Does he have any?
Yeah.
He
has a West Ham United football shirt. And it
Has
was
this got anything to do with Ryan Reynolds trying to buy Wrexham?
That is something we covered in this week's show, and we did this. We came up with the conclusion that Ryan Reynolds has something up his sleeve involving sheep. But we also, I mean, yeah, exactly. And the big thing we discern from that also is that Sky Sports pundits prefer to talk about Ryan Reynolds as opposed to Rob McElhenney, because they can't pronounce his name. So there we go. Yeah, okay. Ryan Reynolds, Wrexham Football Club. You can't write it.
Donna.
Just a moment of curiosity. I Googled Tiggy Leg Book because I've been watching The Crown. And my brain was doing that kind of thing, going, "Oh, who was that nanny?" Tiggy Leg Book. In fact, because I've just been for a walk today around Great Brington, which is just on the outskirts of Althorpe. So I've been just walking around Princess Diana country, and
nice.
Yeah, looking at all the little signs that Charles Spencer's put up saying "keep off the grass" and all of that.
Lovely chap. Lovely chap.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they do say Wikipedia. They do say Wikipedia is the second screen to The Crown. Because when anyone watches The Crown, they're like, "What did that happen?" They're straight on. They're straight on to look for what was cracking on. KD, what have you been looking up?
So my one, weirdly enough, was I was looking at images of a £5 coin because I had to prove to my young children that they existed and I wasn't being crazy / overly old.
Okay, I've only ever seen them in the back of like advertised in the Radio Times. I've never held a £5 coin.
Oh,
They were normal currency at one point. I remember this. They just died out very quickly.
I'm not sure they were normal, but I remember when I was in secondary school getting given a £5 coin for some reason as part of the Jubilee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I
It might have
remember
been the
that now.
Millennium. I'm not sure.
It's really
I
short
remember that.
thing, but yeah, probably worth as much as a commemorative plate. A very small commemorative plate.
Our primary school gave us, like, during the Jubilee, they gave us like a Bible, and it was for like, my mum was just like, why have you gifted primary school kids commemorative Bibles? Why?
Well, I'll give them a copy of Harry Potter.
Same thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, it's all about magic.
First edition of Harry Potter would be worth more than a Bible.
Yeah.
Better condition too.
When Charles and Diana got married, we all got given teaspoons at school,
Oh,
all around the country.
They didn't quite rank up to the £5 coin.
I see that with a teaspoon. Back to the comments. There's only a lot in. There's a lot of people watching but not commenting or giving questions out. So get your questions in. We'll see if we can get a couple of viewer ones in before we finish. Tej, who's been on the show a couple of times before, is watching. Hi, Tej. Hello. Hello. Hey, that's us all waving now. There we go. Next question. Now this requires a bit of work on your guys' part. It is. Can you deliver lines from a song like a really serious poem? I'll tell you each which song you'll have to do. You'll then have 30 seconds to look up the lyrics, and then we'll all have a poetry jam. Okay? So your songs to look up are Stu, Macarena by Los Del Rio, Donna, Cha-Cha Slide by DJ Casper, John, Ooh Are Just a Little Bit by Gina G, Rebecca, 500 Miles by the Proclaimers, and KD, I'm Every Woman by Chaka Khan.
Okay.
I will be going for Baby Shark by Pink Fong.
Why have you given one in another language?
Well, this could be interesting. So if everyone's clear on what to do, you have 30 seconds to look up the lyrics and decide how you're going to deliver it, starting now. Unless my eyes deceived me, one of you was on the phone at one point there. Just before we start, Kitty's been back on saying she also got a £5 coin. Her grandparents got her as a commemorative one for the Golden Jubilee, hoping one day it'll be worth more than a £5. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Everyone got the lyrics sorted?
Mm-hmm.
Who'd like to go first?
Don't mind.
Okay. Katie, we'll go for you first. In the style of a real earnest, open mic, spoken word night poem.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm Every Woman. Your rendition. Let's solo layer you out.
There we go. I'm every woman. It's all in me. Anything you want done, baby, I'll do it naturally. I'm every woman. It is all in me. I can read your thoughts right now from A
Very nice. Very nice. A great recovery from mixing one with A up. Nice.
Thank you.
Who'd like to go next?
Go on, I'll give it a whack.
Okay, all right then. So
Okay.
Stu, remind us what you were. You were doing Los Del Rio Macarena.
I was doing Los Del Rio Macarena, and I will do it justice to the native origins of it. I am not trying to seduce you. When I dance, they call me Macarena. And the boys, they say, que soy buena. They all want me. They can't have me. They all come and dance beside me, move with me, chant with me. And if you are good, I'll take you home with me.
Wow. Amazing.
Bravo.
I do not speak Spanish.
Really, no. Really digging in and finding the
meat of it,
the Spanish, the meat. Absolutely. Who'd like to go next? Yeah. That flamboyant pose, John, says that you're ready. Okay. So, "Ooh are just a little bit" by Gina G, as recited by John Morris. Oh shite!
Wrong button.
Wrong button. You don't get off that easy. They put "remove from stream" next to solo layout. Anyway, here we go.
I know that
Morris.
problem.
Am I wrong? Am I so unkind? Show me the way. Don't turn away. I can't hide all these thoughts in my mind. Every moment, I'm just thinking of you. Ooh, just a little bit. Ooh, a little bit more. Ooh, just a little bit. You know what I'm looking for.
Brilliant. Warm now. Who'd like to go next? If anyone else is going.
I'll go for it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So remind us what you're doing. What song you're doing, Rebecca?
Cha-cha slide. By
Donna. So, yeah. Okay.
Go, Rebecca. Go, Rebecca.
I know where I am. All right. So Cha-Cha Slide by DJ Casper.
Ready? It's me. This is something new. The Casper Slide Part 2 featuring the Platinum Band, and this time we are gonna get funky. Everybody clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. All right, now we're gonna do the basic step to the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. Right foot. Let's stomp. Left foot, let's stomp. Cha-cha. Real smooth.
Bravo!
Oh,
Wow.
Was anyone else doing the moves? Was it just me? Yeah, I think we're all doing the moves as well.
In my head, I was.
So, our penultimate one. Rebecca, would you like to go?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Cool.
Excellent.
Okay.
So, remind us of your song / poem.
My manifestoed piece of prose is the Proclaimers. I'm gonna be 500 miles.
When you're ready.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 miles just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. It doesn't matter. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Diddle diddle. A da da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. A da 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 da. Da 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 da. Dun diddle undiddle. A da da.
So right.
I'm with the classes. I'm with the youth.
Amazing.
I've just seen. I thought I didn't quite recognise this song, but I've heard it. Ooh Ah came out 3 years after I was born.
I was 14. Right.
By the way, click that.
Don't click that.
Few comments coming in already. Crying with laughing face emoji with love hearts coming in from Riley Gibson. Kitty, that's the most aggressive G that's been done in a while, I'm sure. Al Grant, John as Pretty Patel again. Al goes on to say, Donna, motivational speaker. But he's also enjoying that as well, too, crying with laughing face emojis. That just leaves me.
Donna, I'll get you in touch with Mitch Merkabah. Just saying that.
Yes, motivational mouth. That just leaves me with Pink Fong Baby Shark, which will be the UK lyrics. If you mentioned my impression earlier on, I'm gonna do this in the style of Sean Bean. So Sean Bean recites Baby Shark. I think we can manage at least three of the stanzas. Here we go. Baby Shark. Do do. Do 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 do. Baby Shark. Do do. Do 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 do. I've not even got the first verse yet. Baby Shark. Do do.
Sorry.
I can't do anymore.
I'm sorry. Someone laughed, but it sounded like Jimmy Carr's laugh, and it was just like it sounded like Jimmy Carr. And I was like, well, that just startled me. I'm so sorry. Jimmy Carr laugh was perfectly timed. And it was worried that was me for a second. Sorry.
Maybe it was the two of us mixed together.
High praise from Kitty saying Alex's Sean Bean is a treat every time. Him reading Baby Shark making me laugh as much as my routine of Sean Bean reading 50 Shades of Grey. That's also
stuff. I thought you just laughed at porn or something.
No, it's very funny porn.
It is very funny porn. To be fair. Yeah,
it is. Well, some other point, probably the Christmas special. I'll do the. I could do Sean Bean reading the Christmas Carol. Yeah, that'll be the Christmas special.
That'd be good.
So let's just see we get one more quick question in before we finished. As we're finishing on a musical note, wrong answers only. Who let the dogs out? Wrong answers only. I'll go first. Joe Biden. Joe Biden let the dogs out. I'd say Monty Burns, although he calls them hounds. So release the hounds. Next.
I'm going to say Pretty Patel, but I'm just assuming that's just her cohorts.
Well, she certainly had the dog collars out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Studded ones.
Showing you her three-line whip.
Oh, hang on. There's me thinking it wasn't going to be used. Finally. Yeah.
I would say, I don't know about dogs, but My mom let her puppies out at Mallorca Beach in 1986, and it wasn't pretty.
Okay.
Oh, the seen Chrissy's comment.
Yeah. Just when we thought Donna couldn't be topped, Kitty says Pretty Patel doesn't let the dogs out; she puts them down.
I'm gonna have to YouTube this lady after
I mean,
this.
that could just be her insulting them, like we've been putting late Alex down. Like you don't know.
She's standing there with a stun gun. It's how she gets going.
Yeah.
Oh God.
If there's a queue, she's got a cattle prod, electric.
Was this letting the dogs out the result of some kind of referendum?
Yes, but once they were out, it was game over. They couldn't get them back in, and no matter how many protests. So, any more before we finish?
Was it Prince Andrew letting the corgis out?
Might have been. It's
For a bit of private time?
That's the only bad thing he's done this month. Rebecca.
I have Who Let the Dogs Out? I have WAP. The wet ass pussies did.
Okay.
How is my question?
It's not for us to read.
How
That's
have they
why.
grown sentient?
I mean, it's Cardi B. Who knows? Like,
I guess if you're concentrating on your app, then you're not going to think about have I locked the dogs up?
Was it
They're
the
just going to
Chinese
escape.
Was
You're
it the Chinese takeaway by me to let the dogs go out of date? Is that what you meant?
Could have been. Could have
Hold
been.
up. You're saying Cardi B's, you know what, has a tensile strength to open a door.
We could do.
also, you know what? WAP
She's a powerful woman. She's a powerful woman.
I could imagine it.
Also, you know what WAP is backwards? Poor.
Oh!
And on that,
I think you're onto something, man.
It's all
And on that
We better write this shit down.
I don't think anything else we can do or say will top that revelation.
Oh my God! Wow.
I think it's fair to say we're all genuinely mind blown at what you just unleashed. So with that, we'll draw a line under tonight's awkward questions before we go. Time to get your plugs in for your socials, or if you are doing any other podcasts or various other bits and pieces. Rebecca, you first. Have you got anything you need to plug?
I do indeed, very much so, even desperately. So next week on Wednesday, I am hosting a weird, surreal comedy night online called Clog Comedy, and it's a November show. So it's the 25th of November next week. It starts at 8 p.m. and we stream online to a Zoom link. And it's £3 per person. And what I can do is maybe I can post the Facebook event link in the Facebook chat for the stream.
Excellent. Donna.
Hey, it's nearly Christmas. Time to get your gifts ready for Christmas. Why don't you buy
I want to buy that.
The Best of British Science Fiction 2019, edited by yours truly.
Oh.
Many of the top stories of last year are being collated this year into this impressive publication, available from Newcon Press.
Hold it up. Now
There
you're
we
full
go.
screened.
There we go. Featuring
Okay.
stories by Ken MacLeod, Lavi Tidar, Chris Beckett, G.V. Anderson, Una McCormack, Ian Waits, Tim Major, David Tallerman, Ian Creasy, Fiona Moore, Robert Bagnall, Susan Bolton, Rhiannon Grist, Liam Hogan, Emma Livin, Daphne McKim, Kate McDonald, Mike Morgan, Val Nolan, Leo X. Robertson, Henry Srebrinsky, and Andrew Wallace.
So cool you knew that about reading.
Amazing. Amazing. Nice one. Stu, on to you.
I am one quarter of a comedy collective based in Sheffield called the Alternative Cobra Meeting, and we put on various shows all over Facebook. At this moment, I am hosting a weekly podcast on our Facebook page entitled The Feet and Ball Show, the football show for non-football fans, where we get guests on and mess about talking about football and anything else that comes on mind. Personal one as well. I am also looking at. I'm also working on a little project that will hopefully be done in the new year. I'm simply going to say it's called. Well, I'm using the working thing of Project Everything. So keep an eye out for that going forward.
Excellent. KD.
Yeah, I got a couple things. This Wednesday, I'm going to be appearing on Callum Pryor's Clash of Comics show on his YouTube channel and on Joker, I believe. And then Friday after that, I'll have an In Your House podcast coming out with another funny friend from around the comedy circuit. The 30th of November, I've got the mid-season premiere of KD and Kersey coming out, which is true crime, amazing event. I'm doing Tower 7 from 9/11, so should be a decent one. And then Wednesday will be KD's comedian quiz off number 19, as you were on the other day, Alex Leam. So yeah, any of that on KD Comedy on YouTube or on Joe Pitt on Facebook.
I was robbed of a victory on episode
You were
absolutely robbed.
Battle of the
John.
Alexes.
I mean, last week we had a bunch of events for Nottingham Comedy Festival. That was great. You should have watched that. You can't anymore, so tough luck. But I've got some stuff coming up, but nothing concrete yet. But keep your eyes peeled, as I'll be announcing stuff next couple of weeks.
Getting built. Last word from Kitty. Pretty Patel can't climax without killing something at the peak. I get the feeling
Like the welfare state.
Yeah, exactly. The welfare state. I have something else to plug myself. Monday nights, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Myself, Graham Whistler, and Jenny Hart are in the £1 Million Race. That's the new show that we're taking part in. So it's to see if three comedians who are ridiculously bad with money to see if we can make £1 million in 1,000 days. So far, we've yet to reach three figures, and we're 3 weeks in, which puts us roughly about £28,000 behind target. So are we put off? No.
I think we all have faith in you.
Yeah. Is that 3 figures? You've not hit 100 quid, or you've not hit £1 yet, because that's still 3 figures.
We've that yes, that's true. No, we've gone past the £1 mark, so we're off.
Okay.
We're
Alex,
off and running.
Alex, have you tried just walking up and down the beaches of Bournemouth?
If I still lived there, I would do, particularly after that really hot weekend in lockdown. There would have been loads of money lying around then. So I left at the wrong time, if anything. I left at the wrong time.
Need a roadkill walk.
This is true. As soon as Christmas Day is over and done with, there'll be plenty hanging about then.
Plenty of roadkill after Christmas, definitely.
Absolutely. So thanks to you, everyone, for watching and commenting tonight. Thank you to my panel, John Morris, Rebecca Turner, Donna Scott, Katie Dinkin, and Stuart Dunlop. Some Steve Wright style applause for each of you. Thank you all, and see you again live next Sunday night at 8:30. Until then, stay awkward.